Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaro. As I mentioned previously, these weeks I want to delve a little more on our patriarchs and their relationship between themselves, their spouses, their children. I want to go back to the life of our second patriarch, Isaac, Yitzchak. He's getting very old. He's almost blind. And he says to his older son, Esau, go and bring me food. Go into the field, get an animal, prepare food for me, and I'll give you my blessing. The mother, Rivka, hears that, and she feels that he's not the right son to really inherit the path, the teachings that Isaac and his father Abraham before him had taught. So she goes and disguises her son Jacob and prepares food and brings it to Abraham, to Isaac, and he is the one that gets the blessing. I want to delve on something else, which is the following. Didn't Yitzchak recognize who Esau was? True, he admired the fact that he was a hunter, that he was physically fit, maybe that he wasn't so fit himself, that he was a man that went out into the field and to confront any danger, and he was very passive. He admired all that. But didn't he realize also who Yaakov was? Didn't he know that his other son is the one that really was the one that is going to follow in the footsteps of Abraham, now Isaac the father, and the future generation? He knew all that. So how come he was going to give the blessing to Esau, to Esau? You know, I was thinking about it, and I said to myself, maybe Yitzchak thought, you know, my duty is, my responsibility is to give the blessing to my oldest son, and he should be the one that'll head the family. And if it is not so, well, let God be the judge. But I can't be the judge. I am not the one who is going to decide which one of my children is going to carry on the banner. And I think many a time we assume too many things. You have to think to yourself, your duty is that and that. You have a son who is not behaving that well. But on the other hand, you brought him into this world. You have to give him sustenance. You have to give him protection. You have to give him love. You feel that maybe he's not going the right way. Let God decide that. Or maybe your son eventually will choose a different path. Don't be judgmental of other people because you don't like their behavior. You think they're not going the right path. Therefore, you make a decision that will eventually have terrible consequences on the life of somebody else. I think that we are too often too quick to come to resolutions without allowing time to take its course so the person can develop further and further. You as a father have the responsibility of educating, of providing for your children, guiding them. They should follow you. If they don't, that means you should tell them, get out of my house. What was the result when Abraham threw Ishmael out of the house? He didn't want to do it. It was actually Sarah, his wife, who had told him to begin with that he should have a concubine because she couldn't have any children, thinking that the child of the concubine will be like her child, but it didn't turn out that way. What were the consequences? According to some, to this day we're suffering the consequences of that because our cousins, the Arabs, who are the descendants of Ishmael, don't like the Jewish people. And that was the action of Abraham. The Bible is too complicated to tell us exactly why he did it. God told him to listen to his wife, but eventually he's the one that did it. Should a father exile his child? Should a father show preference for another son? What happened to Jacob? He had 12 sons, but he preferred Joseph. And he gave him certain things he didn't give to the others. He listened to his dreams. What were the consequences? Enmity between the brothers. So I say, Don't be God. Don't be judgmental. You do your duty. You're a father, you have to provide. You have to teach. You have to set an example. Don't throw anybody out of your house. Don't punish anybody because you came to a certain conclusion. To the contrary, be understanding. Maybe that same child, that same son that today is not listening to you will eventually develop into somebody altogether different. Eventually, Esau came to the burial of his father and he made peace with Jacob also. Eventually, brothers got together. Of course, each one followed his own path, but I don't think you should take the role of God in passing judgment over another human being.